What's going on, guys? I hope that you're all having a wonderful day today. For those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Ty, and today in this video, I'm going to be talking about The Wild Robot, the brand new DreamWorks animated film that just released in theaters. Is it actually pretty good? Is it worth checking out? Or did it utterly disappoint me? That's what I want to get into here today. But listen, let me give you a bit of context on myself and my animation history, I guess you could say. Honestly, for most of my life, I've been pretty much strictly a Disney/Pixar person. I never really grew up watching like Shrek and things like that. I don't really know why, I just leaned more towards Disney stuff, quite honestly. It's as simple as that. I was more of a Toy Story, WALL-E up kid, rather than a Shrek, Over the Hedge, or just any other animated films, even if they're not DreamWorks. I was just a very Disney-oriented kid. But I feel like DreamWorks has been on a roll recently with Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which I feel like revived them in a sense, and now they've got The Wild Robot, and from, these trailers, it looked like it would be pretty good, especially because of how the animation looked, this and that, stacked the voice cast. But did it actually live up to the hype? That's what I want to dive into here. But listen, I don't want to waste another second. Was this movie good? I thought it was pretty cute. I'm going to be honest. I thought it was an enjoyable, cute film, and I definitely liked it. Did I love it? No, not at all, quite honestly. Well, I liked it, like I said, but I just didn't love it necessarily. I thought it was a cute, adorable, nice little kids animated film, quite honestly. I don't know if it reaches the heights of like a Spider-Verse or a Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which, like I've mentioned, is another DreamWorks animated film, but regardless, I still feel like it has a lot of really good things in here. But let's dive into the details, okay? I think that easily the best part of this movie is the visuals, without a doubt. I think that this is the best looking animated film since Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse a little bit over a year ago. I think that was June 2023. So yeah, in the past 13 months, I think this is easily the best looking animated film, even over Transformers 1, which I loved from just last week. I still think this looks even better. The animation's almost a bit choppy. It almost looks like it's right out of a kid's storybook, but I really like that. It makes it feel very real, very alive. You can see all the little details. In a way, it almost looks like everything is lower on the graphics side, almost like a video game cutscene, but I kind of liked it. Since a large majority of this movie obviously takes place in nature, they're able to do a lot by just showing the beauty of the forest and the ocean, things of that nature. Oh, things of that nature, get it, ha? Okay, no, but seriously, the water, you see all the bubbles, all the foam, the way that the camera swells through the forest, and it's able to show the warmth of the daytime and the cold darkness of the nighttime. It's just awesome. The colors are vibrant. They feel alive. It feels like the setting that we're in, like I just said, is alive. These animals feel real, and it's so cool to just watch this setting and to watch this robot kind of just navigate through this world. Getting onto more of the story, this is kind of where I do have some of my issues, and I'm just going to be completely honest with you and transparent here. Like, I've been seeing that this movie has been getting phenomenal reviews. I don't necessarily agree with them, but again, I did think it was good. But the story is kind of where I start to have my issues. I feel like the first act, the second act, and the third act could all be their own individual short films if they wanted this to be that. Like, basically, the first act is sort of like this, mom raising a child story. The second act is like a robot saving a bunch of animals from harsh weather. That could be an individual story. And the third act introduces a villain like pretty quickly. And from there, it's kind of just saving animals again. But they feel a bit disjointed, even though, of course, there are the same characters in each act. It just doesn't really flow properly, in my opinion. Another thing that I need to mention, speaking of the flow, this movie, and I haven't really felt like this in a while, I feel like I'm not really that good at telling like the pacing of films. That's honestly something that I feel I'm weaker on when it comes to my ability to criticize or praise a film on, is pacing. I'm going to be honest. But I feel like this film moves at a whiplash pace, like quick, plot point, we're here, now we're moving here, now we're moving here, and it doesn't really give you that much time to breathe until maybe a little 2-minute portion in the third act, and then even the third act, it's just moving, this is happening, bam, plot point, character moment, it's just on and on and on. I mean, this movie, it feels like it starts off as a snowball, and as it starts going down the hill, it's just that snowball effect where it just starts to gain a lot of momentum, it gets a lot bigger, and it's just going, and you're just trying to keep up. It's not hard to keep up with, but I just wish that they kind of took a break and we got to breathe every once in a while over the course of this narrative. But I know that I just kind of started with criticisms here. I did like the heartfelt moments of this movie. I did like how it's showing, what life is about, what your purpose is, where you're supposed to be, what your limits are. I think it's a very heartwarming, motivational, film that's kind of just about family. And more specifically, and this is a theme that I just always love because it's so true, and that's more of a personal thing, of course, but just the fact that family is who you make family. Family doesn't just have to be your blood. If there's someone that you're really close to, that you've been close to your whole life, that can be your family. It doesn't matter if you're not related by blood. And I love the way that that's what this movie dives into here. Another issue, though, when it comes to the characters that does tie into that is that we do have our little family here. We have our wild robot played by Lupita Nyong'o, who has a great performance in this. I love the design of the robot. I think the robot is an awesome character because even though it's programmed, it's trying to overcome its programming and learn about what it means to love and to have feelings and to have emotions. Almost reminds me a bit of like the constant argument about AI and like modern society, kind of just like what we've been dealing with as a culture for the past couple of years. But then from there we've got the duckling, and the duckling's name is actually Gosling. And if I'm just gonna be completely honest, I kind of found this duckling a little bit annoying, and I know it's a kids movie and they gotta make like some kids jokes, but it was kind of just like a frustrating character that at times I was like, can you just stop whining for like 2 seconds, please? But it did get less annoying as the movie went on, but still, it's just a point I was kind of like, my eye was starting to twitch a little bit. I was like, can you just be quiet for 2 seconds? I'm gonna be real. And in my opinion, the most underrated and arguably the best character of this movie is actually the fox that's named Think. So this is like the trio here, not the trilogy. Maybe we'll get a trilogy, but that's played by Pedro Pascal. I'm not the biggest Pedro Pascal fan, but I've got to say, he was awesome in this. His voice was so charming, so heartwarming at times when he needed to kind of have more of a somber tone, and I really enjoyed his character, especially how his character dealt with this insecurity about not really having family and not really being loved. Speaking of not having family, this movie absolutely pushes the PG rating. There's a lot of death in here. There's like borderline, not really like gore, but there's like moments where you're seeing like animals get killed and animals get injured. It's kind of crazy, but I do like that it wasn't trying to hold back, because the reality is Mother Nature is brutal, and I like that it's not trying to hide that fact. If anything, it's trying to flesh it out and really show, hey everybody, this is what Mother Nature is. It can be brutal, but it's also so beautiful, and that's another aspect that I really enjoyed about this movie. If you're the type of person that just loves stunning animated movies that just give you this good vibe, this is your movie. This is the movie for you. But what's my final rating here? I'm gonna go with a solid 3 stars, 3 out of 5. I think that's a pretty good rating. Is it a top 10 film of the year for me? No, I could see it being other people's top 10 films of the year, and I would definitely recommend this movie if you enjoy animated films, because it's definitely something very different. The premise is unique, the concept as a whole, very heartwarming. I think it's pretty emotional at times. Not my favorite movie ever, not even my favorite animated movie of the year. That goes to Transformers 1 pretty easily. Just personal preference though. But guys, that's gonna just about wrap up this review. If you guys have seen this film, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.